People are always asking me sometimes the most foolish questions. And I always try to be polite in my response. But sometimes it gets to be quite annoying. I'm always being asked, regardless of which one of my artistic talents that I'm displaying, did you really do that yourself? I understand that plagiarism and people pretending to be what they're not is somewhat of a norm in our society. But there is nothing about my personality or my work that is not unique. My patterns of speech are unique. The way I write and draw are very unique. Uniquely me. Uniquely my perspective and perceptions. I am a very distinct and distinctive individual. I always have been. Even when I was a child and foolishly trying to fit in with the crowd, I always stood out like a beacon. My art, the clothing and things that I design, my art in any form, my writing, my manner of speech, all come from my soul, my spirit, my nature. And where I am not the same person I was many years ago because I've matured, I've grown, I've learned, I've gotten additional knowledge, I've become more skillful at what I do. Who I am on a core level is still the same person. I have always made it a point to be distinctive. I have never wanted to be one of the crowd in any way. It's not about being a show-off or trying to draw attention to myself. But when you see something, I painted, I drew. When you hear something, I wrote. It is recognizable. I understand now, in recent years, AI has been mimicking and imitating works of art and artistic styles. But AI is a computer. I am a being. A computer can only do what it's programmed to do and nothing more, no matter how intricately it is programmed. A person, on the other hand, can speak from experience, can speak from their soul, from their heart, in a way that a computer can never do. Have I ever used AI? Yes. For editing, spell checking. But that's a huge difference in having something write for you. I don't need anyone or anything to write for me. I can write for myself. I've been writing and a published author since I was 15 years old. And my writing skills and ability came from a place of pain. My mother was critically ill. And we knew that she was going to die. The doctors gave her 3 years. She lived in 5 years and actually would have lived longer had it not been for a medical mistake that cost her her life. It wasn't even the sickness that she died from. But as a child, we had to take on a lot of grown-up responsibilities to keep our family together. Otherwise, we would have been separated and sent to different members of the family because no one could take all of us. And we made a decision as children that we were going to do whatever it took to stay together. So my sister took care of my mother and pretty much ran the household. My older sister, Lauren. My brother, Jackson, worked extra jobs to bring in extra income to make ends meet so that we can keep the bills paid. I took care of the responsibilities of primarily raising my younger brothers. Making sure they took baths, making sure they got dressed, got to school, sat down and did their homework with them when they came home from school, took them home from school at the end of the day. All the responsibilities of making sure all their needs were met, with the exclusion of preparing meals. My sister did that. But it was a beautiful, joyous bonding time because my siblings and I, through adversity, bonded in a way that even someone like me, who is never at a loss for words, can't quite articulate. And my younger brothers, we have a sister-mother relationship, even to this day, because they were so young when Mom was ill, they barely remember her. The person they remember as their caretaker and nurturer and the mother figure in their life is me. That was a lot of all kinds of emotions that we were going through. We had lots of medical scares with Mom where we didn't know if this was it, but she would get better. We had a lot of emotions because we were children taking on grown-up responsibilities, and it was a lot because we also still were in school and had to keep our own grades up, and we were going through puberty and developing without the supervision of a parental role model. So we had to figure out pretty much everything on our own. And I come from a massive family. But for a large portion of what was going on, we were on the other end of the coast, away from our family. And then for a short time, we were back among the family when she was critically ill, just before she passed. And that had its own set of dynamics. Because once you get used to running your home and having things a certain way, you really don't want other people just coming in and changing everything and wanting things to be done their way, even though they were the adults. We had been taking care of ourselves and each other and Mom for so long. We had a rhythm. We had a way of doing things our way. And we were very productive in doing it our way. And so we really didn't quite welcome too much outside influence or interference. We were doing just fine. And when Mom passed, we were separated, which was the thing that we never wanted to happen. But eventually, when she passed away, there was no other option. So we were all separated. So not only did I lose my mom, I lost my siblings. We didn't see each other again until we were adults. I think we saw each other maybe once in between. But when Mom passed, we were all separated. We came back together for a short time as a family, and then we were separated again.